Hello, good evening, everyone. We can start.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Sorry, I don't know where I'm echoing.
Hello, please, let's
Hello.
turn our videos. The person that turn on video should please turn off his video, except the facilitator. You can talk. I think you are no more echoing again.
I'm no more echoing. Okay. Let me share my screen. I think it's too bad for my. Can you hear me clearly?
We can hear you, but it's cracking. Wala
As well.
mama kwe.
Can you my screen? Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can see your screen.
Okay. So I'll be working on an editing note today. Because I had a feedback yesterday that I wasn't supposed to work with an already prepared notebook. Does anyone have a question from what we did yesterday? If you have a question, please you can ask.
Mom, mom,
As well.
mom, 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 mom,
Sorry, let me start the meeting again.
mom.
bari zan kula kina tunda da kai kai da kunya ne muna labarin iska ne fata su mura hana wai a wasu fara bari amma dai bari yin kwashi
Hello. Can you hear me better?
yes we can hear you ma
There's a problem. Excuse me. Let me- Hello?
Sorry, your voice is reflecting.
Yes, I can hear it because I also connected with my phone to know how I'm being heard. I don't know what the problem is. I haven't restarted my laptop, but
Can we make use of Zoom?
can I make use of what?
Zoom.
Zoom? It might not be really easy to organize a new meeting now. Right?
Maybe.
Okay, if it's possible to use Zoom, I think it would be better. I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, sorry, good evening. I suggest maybe you can make use of your phone's mic.
Can you hear me now? Okay. It's still echoing.
Or maybe you should try and turn off your data and on it back. Maybe probably it's network or something. You can't hear your mic is off.
Okay, sorry. I was saying that I didn't hear the last thing you said.
I just usually it's network issue or what, or is the Zoom, or is the Google Meet.
Honestly, I don't know what the problem is. Both my phone and
Okay.
my laptop are all giving this echoing sound.
I suggest we shall leave and join again. Maybe it will work.
Hello,
The
hello.
problem is not for
You
her
need
to leave again.
you need to mute your mic
Well,
on the phone and use
we
only
shall leave
one mic.
and join again. Maybe it will work.
Hello, good evening. I just hope that she doesn't have any maybe television set or radio set near her because of the interference. The interference could be affecting the wave.
There's actually only one mic that is turned on, only that of my phone now.
Are you close to any radio or TV?
No. But let me try using my second laptop. Perhaps let me log out of this.
Can I say something?
Okay,
Can
this
I say
in
something? If you are going to use your phone mic, you will have to mute your speaker for your laptop so that the sound from your laptop does not come out, so that you will get feedback from your phone while you use the phone mic. So mute the sound, mute your mic on your laptop, stop the output from your laptop so you can
Thank
comfortably use your phone.
Thank you. Yes, so I think we can start now. Let me see. Yes, okay. So I want to open a new notebook. Okay, I think I would have to start from the terminal again. Let me see. Um, Okay, let me share my screen. Can you see, you can see my screen, right?
No, we cannot see it.
You can't see my screen.
Yes.
I can see the screen.
We can see the screen. Please try and check from
Okay.
your end very well.
Yes,
We
yes,
can
we
see
can
the
see it
screen.
now. I can see it.
Okay, so I start by opening Jupyter Notebook on the terminal. And yes, so I'm going to open a new notebook. This is the button for a new notebook, and then I select the notebook option. And yes, I have my new notebook. And I think I prepared like excuse me. I think I prepared like list of what I want us to do. Let me see. Sorry. Let me see where the list is. Yes. And yes. So I put a list of what I want us to do so that I don't forget like the things I want us to do today. Yeah. So the first thing I want us to do today is, yesterday we saw how to print a simple statement in Python. We did a little bit of lists. So the first thing I want us to do today is to create a list of numbers between 1 and 100 with increments equal to 2. So what does this mean? This means that I want to create like a list starting from 1 and then up to 100. Okay, the last time might not be 100, but like I want to have after 1, I want to have 3 and then 5 and then 7 and then 9, and then this continues on until the it continues until 100. I don't want it to exceed number 100. So how do we create this list? There is the range function in Python that creates a range of value, and it's the range function. Sorry, let me range, and then it creates a range of values between, you put the first value you want in your range of values. That's, I want it to start from 1, so I put 1 first, and then the next thing you put is the last value. And when you put the last value, even if the value like falls into the sequence you want to create, it's not part of the range of values you're going to get. So for instance, if you want to create the values 1 to 100, like with no like increments more than, like you want 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 100, then you should have 101 here, because if you put 100, it's going to stop at 99. So then you put the increment you want, that's 2, because I want to have a difference of 2 between the numbers. And yes, this is just the range I have, and I want it to be a list. So Python has the list function that converts like an iterable element to a list. So I put this list, and then I put this, and then I could call this maybe first list, and then I let this be equal to this, and then let's run this and see what we have. Okay, sorry, I have to maybe print. So can everyone see what I created? Number 1 to 99.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So yes. So that's the first thing I want to do today. And so everyone now knows how to create like a list of numbers. Like so far, like there's like a constant increment you want. If you want it to increase by 5, you could change this to 5, and then you have 1, 6, 11, 14. If you want it to be if you want it to start from maybe 0 with increments 10, yes, you just put this and you have 0, 10, 20 up to 90. So yes, that's how to that's one of the ways to create a list in Python. Then the next thing I want us to do is to square all the numbers in this list using 4 different methods. So I want to have like a new list, but instead of the first term to be 1, okay, for the first term, I want it to be 1 squared, which is 1. I want the second term to be 3 squared, which is 9. The third term to be 5 squared, which is 25. So I want to square like each term of the list. So we're going to use 4 methods, and like I want to teach you how to use the loop functions in Python with this exercise. So the first thing we are going to do is for loop. So how does a for loop work? you use a for loop when you want to like when you want to do something for like every element in some set. So what we want to do now is we want to square all the elements inside this list. So I would say, for instance, let me write here. I would say in English, what do I want to do? For every element in first list, I want to have its square. So this is what I want to do, right? So for every element, I can decide to like replace this for every element with maybe some, let me say I. For I in first list, what do I want to do to I? I want to have I squared. That is what I want, right? So
Sorry, ma. Sorry, ma. Please, I did not understand what this loop is all about. Please, I was a little bit
yes,
confused.
yes, that's what I'm trying to explain. Like
Okay.
you use a for loop when you want to do something for every like point in some kind of maybe a list or a tuple or maybe a dictionary or anything that's let me say iterable. So you use a for loop if you want to do like something for like different points inside. So that's why I'm saying for instance, I could say for every I in this list that I called first list, I want to find its square. That is what I want to do here, right? Like I want to square every element inside this set. So this is what I want to do for every I in first list. I want to find its square. So how do I do this in Python? The syntax is you use for, and then you could say the same for I, and then you say in first list. So here I'm saying for every element inside this list. So what do I want to do for every element? After the line where you put the condition, you have to put this this colon sign. Otherwise your program won't run. And then you put an enter. And then what do I want to do for every element inside the first list? That is the condition I should put after this colon. So I want to square it. So I want I raised to the power of 2. So when I find I raised to the power of 2, what do I want to do? I want to put it like in a new list because I want to have a new list now that has the square of all of the elements. So ideally, what I should start with is to define a new list. Let me say square of first list is equal to so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to define an empty list. This is possible in Python. When you put these two brackets, you have an empty list. There's nothing inside the list. So I want to, while I'm squaring all of the elements inside this list, I want to add all of those squares inside this list. So for every I in first list, I want to find the square, right? Let me name this square. Let me assign it to a variable. Let me call it J. So I want J to be equal to I squared. So there's another assignment statement. There's another statement in or should I say a function in Python called append that is used to add elements to a list or a dictionary. So I could say let me copy this. And J. So what does this line mean? This line means that when I come to this list, first list, and I pick an element in this first list, and I square it in this second line, then the value I have from here, I append it to this list, meaning I come here and add it to this list. So when sorry about that. So when I square this I, this append means this value that I get, I come back to this square of first list and add the value here. So for the first element 1, we are going to have 1 here. and then we append 1, meaning the first element in our list would not be 1. Then when we come to 3 and square it, we come back to add, we have 3 squared here, which is 9, and then we come back to the list and add 9. And then we continue that way until we get to the last element in first list. And then at the end, we print, yeah. Can you see that we now have the squares of all the elements in this first list? So that's the first method we're going to use. And the second method we're going to use is the while loop. It's another form of like maybe doing something repeatedly. Like, you know, loops are used to like repeat the same conditions over the same how do I say, the same operations like over and over again. So while loop is quite it has some similarities with for loop, but then it's different in some way. So for while loop, you have to set like the condition you want to keep holding. You want you have to set a condition that you want to be satisfied before the statements on the while loop are performed. So you start with while if you look at this list, we should have how many elements? We should have I don't know, maybe something around 50 elements, I think. So we could set first a, maybe let's say index list. Okay, that okay, sorry. I'm not sure of how many we have. You know, you can check for the length of a list by using this function. Let's see the length of this list. So it has 50 elements. So we are going to define another list, say index of list equal to let me see range 0, 50, and then 1, because we have 50 elements. So we want to start from, and I told you yesterday that the indices of a list usually start from 0. So we start counting from 0. That was why I started from 0 here. So I start from 0, and because we have 50 elements, I should have my index list count up to 50 with an increment of 1. So I have a while loop. Well, okay. For a while loop, you have to have a starting point first. Set I to be 0, and then while I is do I really need this? I don't need this actually. Sorry. While I is less than. Yeah, so what do I have here? So I have square of first list is equal to 1. Let me Yes, so I have square of first list equal to 1. So I define a new list that I want this new list to contain the square I find with the while loop. And then I first define I to be equal to 0. So for a while loop, you first have to initialize where you're starting from, and then you place a condition that while that condition is satisfied, then all the statements you have underneath this this line should be like performed, and then yes, it keeps being computed until the condition is no longer satisfied. So what do I have under the while loop? I have that x is equal to first list of I. So when I is 0, I would have 0 here. And what is first list of 0? This is first list. So the 0th element is this one we have here, the first element here. It's because Python starts like indexing from 0, and then we square it, and then we append the square to the square of first list. And after doing that, in a while loop, you have to, anytime you finish a step, you have to add like a condition that would let you go back to check if that condition is still satisfied or not. So I'm adding 1 because I want I to run from 0 to 50. So here, when I is 0, after this statement has been executed, then 1 will be added to I, and then we'll go back, and then like we keep repeating until this condition is no longer satisfied. And if we run this line of code, we're going to have okay, sorry. I thought I didn't oh, I have an empty list. Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't. I don't know why I have a problem here. Okay. Sorry, I didn't put the one here. This one. Yes. So yes, this is with the second method using the while loop. And then what's the third method I said I was going to use? Sorry, I have to keep scrolling, going between windows, and then
Hello, please. What was the problem the other time?
I didn't put the one here. I just put I didn't put the one here. This new list has this one. I didn't put it here. That was why it was giving me back an empty list. Sorry, I can't find my notebook again. Okay, sorry. Sorry. And then yes, the third function I want to use is the map function. So yes, to use the map function, I'm going to use another function too, which is the lambda function. So lambda function is I don't know. It's another function that's used to it's another like simple method to define a function if you do not want to use the define function to be, but it's not always every function you can use lambda function, but at least for some cases it's usually simpler. So I could say I could define a lambda function, say y is equal to lambda x, and then I have this, and then I have sorry, and then I have x squared. So sorry, what do I have here? Yeah, so this is how you define like a lambda function. Like you put for any x you have, this is what you want to be done to the x. You want x to be squared. So if you need to define like a quadratic equation or something that is not really complicated, you could use this lambda function. You just put x here and then you put what you want to be defined here. You can even at times it doesn't have to be just one variable you have here. You can have like two variables, maybe x comma y, and then on this side it's x squared plus y. It also works this way, but for our case we just need x because we want to square all of the elements there. So to find the square, we define a new list again, but this time with a 2, and then we say is equal to, and then we put the symbol for defining lists, the square brackets, and then we put put math, then put our function, and then we put our list. Is this? Am I supposed to have this? Oh, I have a mistake here. Suppose, yeah. I'm supposed to, this is a map object, so I'm supposed to convert it to a list. So, yeah, so I have the same result here. I have the square of all of the elements. So map function is usually applied like on a list. When you have a list and like you want to map it to a new list, then you put the function you want to map it to on the first component, and then you put the list you want that function to be applied to on the second component. So because we want the squares to be listed as a list, we have to convert the map result we have here into a list. And then the fourth method I want to use is, yes, I wanted to use list comprehension too. List comprehension is another method that's kind of more straightforward than the for and while loops. So oh, yeah. So this is the last method. That's list comprehension. If you look at this one, it's more straightforward and more simple than all of the methods. So we just say x squared for x in first list, and then we have all of the squares. Do you understand? There's so many things I put into this for methods I did. So we've seen for loop, while loop, list comprehension, map function, lambda function. Let me see. Then the next thing I wanted to do is create a tuple of lists. So yes. Okay, before I create a tuple of lists, I want to also show you how to like select like some elements in your list. So we already saw that yesterday. For instance, if we want to have like the first element in first list, we just say we just use this command 0, and then yes, we have the first element. But what if we don't only want the first element? Maybe we want the first to the fifth element. Then in that case, what we use is you put the first element, you put a colon, and then you put like where you want to stop. So if I put 5 here, it means I want from the 0th element to the 4th element. Python won't count like the 5 I put here. So I would have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would have the first 5 elements. That's what I have here. And if I want if I want maybe to the 10th element, then I would put it this way. And at times I might want to like skip like points. Maybe I want to have the first to maybe I want to have the first to the last element, but I want to skip like 3 points before getting the next element. Then you put a double this, and then you put 3, sorry. So this means it will start selecting from the first element, and then after the first element, it would skip 3 elements and then give you the next element after skipping 3 elements. That's what lets you. So we have 1, 7. If we go back to look at first list, we can see that we have 1, 3, 5, 7. So we pick this element and then we count 1, 2, 3, and then we pick the next element. Then we count 1, 2, 3. Then we pick 13. So that's what we have here. And then at times you might want to select from the last element. In that case, you use negative indices. So we have first list, and then you put you start from -1, and then when you put -1, you now put the amount of elements you want to be selected. So you put 5. Oh, sorry, and then which am I supposed to have? Let me see. Oh. Sorry. Sorry, I should have instant. Okay, yes, sorry, I forgot. So you put how many elements you want, -5. It means you want the last 5 elements, and then yes, you have this. If you put -10, it means you want the last 10 elements, and then you have this. Yes. So this is how this works. Next is tuple. So tuple is usually defined as let me say first tuple. Tuple is usually defined with this round brackets, not square brackets. So we have 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we have a tuple, and
Sorry, I can't see a screen.
you can't see my screen. Can anyone not see my screen?
I'm seeing it, but it's
I can see. I can see it.
Okay. I think the problem is probably
I can also see it.
okay. So as for tuples, you can also select like elements in tuples like we did for lists. For instance, if we have first tuple of 0, it gives us sorry, its first tuple of 0. Yes, it gives us the first element. If we put first tuple of 2, it gives us the second element. And sorry, it gives us the third element because start counting from 0. So what we cannot do for tuples that we can do for list is replacing elements. So yesterday we saw that we could decide to, for instance, here we could decide to replace this element and say, okay, it's equal to maybe we'd say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me see. How many elements do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, so we could decide to do this and it works. And if we look at what the first list is after this, we see that the last 10 elements, oh, sorry, let me print this so comes in. Then the last elements, we can see that the last elements have been changed because of this statement we have here. So, but it's not possible for tuple. If we try to redefine what the second element in our tuple is, it doesn't work. It will give you like it will give you an error statement. Tuple does not support item assignment, so it doesn't work. Yes. Let's see what next we have to do. Okay. Yes, I wanted to create a tuple of lists to see that list can contain anything. Tuples can also contain anything. List can be a list of strings, numbers, a list of lists, a list of tuples. So same way tuples can be tuples of numbers, strings, lists. So I want to create a tuple of lists. In this tuple of lists, I'm going to put, okay, let me remove this this line. Okay, let me delete the box. Oh, okay. Sorry. I want to remove this command here. Yeah, so I could put this as my first element in the tuple. So yeah, separate each element with a comma. I could put this as my second element. And then yeah, I could put this as my third element. Yeah, so this is a tuple of lists. And yes, we could decide to sum 0 plus yeah. So we could decide to sum the first and second elements. Let me print it so it looks better. Yeah. Yes, and it does the same thing as we have in the list. It just concatenates like the two lists. So what we have here is this first list, because tuple of 0 is a list. Okay, it's even like a list. So you know, I told you yesterday that when you sum two lists, you have like a concatenated list. Okay, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, so tuple of list of 0 is the first element of this tuple. So it's a list. The first element is also a list. And then when we sum two lists, what we have is a concatenated list. Although that wasn't what I wanted to do here. So I wanted to show you that you could sum two tuples also. So for instance, we have first tuple here. Another way of defining two things, you could put a comma and then you put second. You could do two assignments in one line. You just put a comma here and then you put a comma here too, and then you put what your second tuple is, 2, 4, 6. And let me run this. And yes, I could okay, let me just sum it here. First tuple plus second tuple. So it does the same thing as in the list, in the case of list. So it just concatenates the two tuples. So you can see the first three elements is first tuple, and the second three elements is second tuple. So I think, let me see. After that, then yeah, a tuple of numbers and sum them. I just did that. And then create a tuple of Boolean values. Okay, so I wanted to show you how you could have like situations where you do some operation and what you expect as the result is a Boolean value. So for instance, we could define let's say Boolean tuple, let's say is equal to we could use the let's first define like a variable x equal to, let's assign variable let's assign 5 to the variable x. Okay, it's 9 p.m. I'm sorry, I actually wanted to ask in the beginning if it were possible to add maybe 15 to 30 minutes, but if it's not possible, then it's fine. Please tell me if you have to leave or you could stay for some 15 to 30 minutes possible, because I wanted to finish with these basics today.
Let's proceed, please.
Okay. If it's okay, I can see some people raising their hands. Please ask your questions. Let's see who is the first person on the queue.
Mustafa Ibrahim, you can proceed with your question. Mustafa Ibrahim, are you there? Okay, MY Jimada, you can ask your question.
Good evening. Please, I want to ask if like this Boolean tuple, this is an already built-in function, or I can see when you just use them, the system already recognizes them and just
No, they're not recognized. That's why you see them in black color. The recognized ones are the ones you see in green color. Here, for in lambda. Can you see what I'm talking about? While for in, can you see what I'm talking about? Append.
yes.
So these ones you see like being black colored, they're not recognized. It means like
Like
assigning them.
the list, the tuple.
Yes, this tuple list. But if I were to use list, if I were to use only list only, list is actually a built-in function. Let me see where I used it. Was it okay? Wasn't but then all these tuple lists, they're just assignments I'm making. I haven't even defined this tuple Boolean tuple yet. I wanted to confirm if you're okay with me continuing first before I continue.
Okay, but is there a place you defined the lists
Is there
or tuple before using them? Is there a place you define them before using them initially, like the tuple and the lists?
No, this tuple list, this was where I defined it. This is the line that the assignment took place. Here, where I have tuple list is equal to this first list 0 colon colon 3, and then this. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay, okay. You just as assigned the variable
Yes,
a value
yes. I think
initially.
when I send you this notebook, I'm going to be adding comments so that I would indicate to you where like the
Okay,
assignment was made, so you understand better. But this was where I assigned these values to pull list.
okay. Thank you very much.
Even this fortune box where I have first tuple and second tuple. This was the line that I assigned these values to this first tuple and second tuple. Is there anyone with a question again, or can I continue?
Good evening. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, I can hear you.
So thank you very much. My first question is the while loop specifically, and the other map and the fourth function. I think I understand that for loop, but the the other third methods I don't really get them. Then, as regard the tuple, I think from what you said and from what I know, indexing in Python starts from zero. So if you are
Yes.
indexing is zero, it means we are indexing the first value.
Yes.
So when I created a tuple, I don't know, maybe indexing a tuple is different from other indexing. When I created a tuple of 1, 2, 3, and I try to index uh I try to index 0 to 2. I thought it should stop at uh it should stop at, since the 0 will be the one, the 1 will be 2, then it should stop at 3, but it is giving me 1 and 2, only 1 and 2.
Yes, it doesn't count the last number you put. So when you put
Okay,
0 to 2, it starts from 0 and ends at 1. So it only takes the first and the second element.
so I mean, I created a tuple. The tuple contains 1, 2, 3. I mean, number 1, number 2, number 3.
Yes.
So, and I try to index from 0. Then I stop at I wrote a 0 comma a 0, then semicolon colon 0 colon 2. So
Mm-hmm.
if it is 0 colon 2, I think it should be, it should give me the first value, which is 1, the second value, which is 2, which will be in the position 1 for
Yes.
indexing, and
Yes.
it should also give me 3, which is in the position 2 while indexing.
No, it won't give you 3 because it won't count. You said 0 to 2, right?
Yeah,
So what is going to happen is it's going to give you the 0th element and the first element, but it won't give you the second element.
because I
The
put
element with
2.
index 0 and the element with index 1, but it won't give you the element with index 2. Generally, if you're counting and if you're doing
Okay.
anything that has to do with counting in Python, I think in most
Okay.
cases it doesn't count with the last value you put. That
So
was
if
why
I
I
put
said if you
10,
want
it
to
will stop
create.
at 9.
Yes. That's why I said if you want to create a list, maybe from 1 to 100, and you want 100 to be included in your list, then you should stop at 101. Because if
101.
you put 100 as your last element, it would stop counting at 99.
Okay.
So when you put 2, it doesn't count the element with index 2. It just gives you
Okay.
those elements with indices less than 2.
Okay. Thank you. But that those methods are you. If time won't permit us today, maybe tomorrow we can do a recap, because I don't really
Yes,
get
yes,
it.
yes. Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Let me um I hope I'm spelling this correctly. let me see, y and string. Oh, okay. This is not a tuple. Sorry. Let me not use and here. Let me use a comma. Yeah. Yes. So this is my Boolean tuple. You can see my result is false and true here. So I assigned 5 to X. I assigned book to Y. And then my Boolean tuple is defined as this first element is if X is X equal to 8. So whenever you want to compare two values in Python, you use double equality sign. So is X equal to 8? So because X is not equal to 8, we defined X to be equal to 5 here. So X is not equal to 8. Therefore, we have a false here. And then for the second statement, we have is instant y str. So this function is used to check if what you have here is actually of actually satisfies what we have here. So what we have in the first part is y, which is book, and this is a string. If you look at how we defined it, we have this quotation marks, and we have the book inside quotation marks. So this is a string. So it's actually a string. So that is why we have true, because what we have inside the bracket holds. Y is a string. So we have false and true. So this is a Boolean tuple. And let me see, sorry, let me want to finish with this today. And then yes, then the last kind of iterable I want to define is a dictionary. So a dictionary usually has keys and values. It's also like list or tuple, like it has like different elements, but each element of a dictionary has like a key and a tuple. The key, sorry, not key and tuple, key and value. And the key is what is used to access the values in a dictionary. So for instance, if we define first dictionary to be, this is how to define a dictionary. You use this braces to define a dictionary. And then what you put first is your key. So for instance, we could say A, or let's put an uppercase A, and then we say, okay, animals, and then then we have balls, and then we have let's see C, and then we have let's see chairs. Then we have I forgot to put the signs for strings here, the quotation marks. Right. So this is the general format for defining a dictionary. So you put the key, that's what you want to be used to identify that value. And then you put a colon, and then you put the value for the key. So here we have 4 keys, A, B, C, and D. And then we have 4 values, animals, balls, chairs, and 8. So your values could be anything. Your keys have to be strings, but your values can be anything. It could be yes, anything. It could be integer, it could be a list, it could be a tuple, it could be a string. So if you want to access the keys you have, you use the function first dict, and then you say maybe for instance you put dot, sorry, and you put this. And then for the values, you use same thing. But you use sorry. Then you run. So you see the keys we have are A, B, C, and D. And then the values we have are animals, balls, chairs, and it. So if we want to use this to do like something else and we want it to be a list, then we have to convert this into a Python list by using the command list. And the same thing here. And you see, we have like a tuple of, we have the list A, B, C, D, and then the values here: animals, balls, chairs, and it's. Yeah. So like in the same way we could replace values in list, we could do the same thing for dictionaries. So if we want to replace this key we have here, animals, we could just say, okay, first DICT of we use the command A, because this is what is used to identify this value inside this dictionary. So in this case, we don't use indices like 0, 1, 2. We just use the keys to to access those values. And we have first dict of A, we could say is equal to 2. And then if we decide to see what our new first dict is, then yes, then you see that the value for A has been changed to 2 because we have a new assignment here. We changed it to 2. So we have a new assignment here. So you could also delete a key if you want. So we could use the command del, and then we say first dict of for instance, we could put D, and then if we do this and we decide to see what I think I copied it before. Yeah. And we decide to see what dict is. We see that there is no longer D because we deleted it here. Yes. So after this, I think the next thing I quickly want to do now is how to install libraries, because tomorrow then we'll quickly do NumPy and pandas. So in Jupyter Notebook, I've already installed them. But if you haven't, this is how you do it. You put this, then you put pip, and then you have install. And then, for instance, you could install NumPy, and then you run this line. And then if you do this, I have it already satisfied. So yes, but if you don't have it, you just do it this way. And then after doing it, then whenever you need to use NumPy, you can import NumPy. Because if you don't install it and you import it, then you would have an error message. So the packages I want you to install before tomorrow are NumPy, pandas, matplotlib, and then I'll write it here before tomorrow. Let me put sorry. Let me put NumPy. Pandas. So remember I told you this sign is used for to write comments. So this line won't be executed even if I run like the code. Nothing happens. So anything I put here works. So please, I want you to not import, install, sorry. Install NumPy, matplotlib, pandas, and Seaborn using what I used here, like exclamation mark, then pip install, whatever you need before tomorrow. Please ask your questions. I'm sorry for the additional time. I've seen so many people have left. Please ask questions if you have.
Thank you very much, Ma, for this wonderful lecture. Actually, I learned a lot, although it's not everything that I understand. I still have to go out through it from the beginning to the end without understanding. So my question here is, as I tell you earlier, I couldn't download the Jupyter notebook up to now, so I didn't make any practice so far. So my question here is, can I be able to use it offline, or I must use it online? I mean the Jupyter notebook. I hope you understand my question, ma.
Sorry, please, can Mrs. please answer for me?
Hello.
Sorry, please.
Sorry, what was your?
If
We
you have
didn't hear you
question, please
completely.
ask question.
Hello. Yeah. My question goes this way. I actually observe in when running some commands, the print function is not usually used. Is that how Python actually is?
Okay. At Rahama, can you?
Okay. I think I actually stated it yesterday that in Jupyter Notebook, if you have like a
Answer his
printable,
question.
if you have something that is printable and you write it on your last line in Jupyter Notebook, it's usually automatically printed, whether you put the print function or not. Except if it's not, like if the statement, if what you have on the last line is maybe some assignment statements or something that is not printable. So I think let me share my screen again. So I'll show you so you'll see the statements that were printed and the ones that were not printed. You'll see that all the statements that were printed are something. Okay, let me see, which ones did I? Yes, here. So like this length first list, it's actually like a value. It's something that is printable. It's 50. So because I have it like on the last line, that's why it's being printed. But if I put some assignment statement underneath here, maybe I say A is equal to, oh sorry, A is equal to 10, and I run it, you won't see anything because this statement like is an assignment statement, and it's on the last line. So nothing would be, there won't be any outputs. So but like for instance here, I could decide to remove the print statement and it still works. Just that I don't like how it looks without the print statements. It still works. Just that it's like in this long format. Did I answer your question? Yeah.
But is it possible for you to use
Yes,
print
yes,
function
yes.
for
It's
that
it's possible.
length?
I'll get the same thing. It's just like easier if you know like it's
How does
something that
it?
would be printed out, then you could decide to skip it. But if you put print, you have the same thing. Let me see, where is it? Yes, you have the same thing. To be on the safe side, anything you want to see, it's better you always put print. You want to see it like displayed.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any other question?
Sorry, those things that you asked us to download, are we going to use this particular Jupyter to download them, or we are going to follow the same
Yes, in Jupyter
process?
Notebook. Yes, in Jupyter
Okay,
Notebook, just with this line, you just put this exclamation, then pip install what you want to
okay,
install. That's all.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, ma.
Hello? Yes.
No, please. I would like to request if the updated this thing will be pasted closer to the group tonight, maybe that so that it can be
Notebook?
accessed. Like
Yes,
the
yes,
updated version of the slide.
yes, yes. This is all we did today. This notebook. I'm going
So
to
can
send
you?
it. And I'll even add
Uh,
comments before sending it on each
Thank
step
you
to
very
see
much.
like what
It,
exactly was done there.
Thank you. And again, please don't forget to do a recap on those methods tomorrow for
Okay, a recap.
before we
We
begin to
actually have a
off.
lot to do because I might stop tomorrow and we have like an exploratory data analysis to do at the end. So, and I still want us to look at NumPy and then how to plot graphs. So I don't know. Um, well, I'm not sure if many people could spare like some time tomorrow after the 9 p.m.
No, we'll try to sacrifice and spare some time, inshallah.
Okay.
Because I really don't get those methods.
Okay, I'll put the comments and please try as much as possible to practice what we did. And then you can also read online to understand things better. Like most of the things I did today, like they're the major building blocks of Python programming.
Okay. Then I think I run that pip install numpy. So it's telling me requirement already satisfied. Then there is now a warning that there was an error checking the last version of pip.
No, don't worry, don't worry. Leave it alone like that. Leave it alone like that.
It's okay like that. Then
Yes,
when
it
I
is.
run that import, I just run it. So it just moves to the next cell. There's
Don't worry.
nothing, it doesn't
It's
show
okay.
anything.
Are you using Windows or Mac?
I'm using Windows.
Yeah, they always update their Jupyter version. They don't really have a stable version for their Jupyter. So just leave it. Any version you have is actually okay.
Okay. And when I run that import numpy, there is nothing that will show. It will just move to the next cell. Cool.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry, any other question? Is, is there any other question? So I've dropped the attendance in case you've not signed the attendance. I've dropped it again.
Sorry. I wanted to ask. I think when you were giving example with the boolean
Hmm?
um with boolean,
The one
I
which
think
I can
you wanted
one and
using
generated on it.
and, but then you deleted it and you said you're going to use tuple.
Yes, because when I used and it wasn't going to be a tuple. What I said I wanted to do was define a tuple of a Boolean tuple, a tuple with Boolean values. So I needed to have like two components, but I could also put like and then I put like a comma, and then I put maybe another, and then yes, this works too. In this case, we have false and another. Yes, this is to tell you that in list and tuples and even dictionaries, like okay, let me keep dictionaries aside. In list and tuples, like you could have mixed value types inside. You could have integers, strings, boolean, string, all in a list or a tuple. So you see, we have like the first component here is a boolean value, and the second one is a string. It works. And for the first component here, where we have and, it's because we have a false statement here and a true statement here. And you know, when you have false and true, it's false. But if it's false or true, then it's true. If you have true here, if you have or here, then it becomes a true statement because one is true and one is false. So the reason I removed the and was I wanted a tuple. I didn't want to define just like just one element.
Please, can you come again with why you use that is instance?
It's instance. Like it's used when you want to check if what you have here satisfies what you have in the first component, satisfies what you have in the second component. So what do I have in the second component? I'm saying string. So here I want to check if what I have in the first component is a string. So y is actually a string. That is why I have true. But if I replace this with x, if I replace this with x, and let me remove this second part so you'll see the results, then you see that it becomes false because x is now 5, which is an integer. It's not a string, so it becomes false. So I use it here to check if the first element here satisfies the condition I have in the second, is actually of the type in the second element in the bracket. Yeah. So I think it's quite intuitive from like what is called is instance. If this is of is instance is of, let me say this instance.
Judging bottom can
Huh?
Wani ba a son fankan da nake bane sai ki sa da kuma sai ki sai to mini. Na dole in koyi wasa ba. Saboda wannan abun.
Is there any other question?
Sorry, please. What if after the is instance you make use of y, then integer instead of string?
Yeah, it also works. Then we put int in this case, and then y is not an integer, so we have false. But if we put x is an integer, then we have true. So you can also put string as in str. I'm not string, sorry, floats as in float. So we check it's false because x is not a floating point number. But if we add like a 5.0 here, then it becomes true because x is now a floating point number.
But can you also check 3 values?
3 values. I'm not sure. Let me see. Maybe let me see. Let's check if x, y. So let me first check the type of let me leave this as sorry, I'm coming. I want to check for the type of XY first because I've never tried checking 3 things at the same time. Actually, it took a bit. Alright, let me see. Let me see. Yeah, so it works here, but I don't think, I'm not sure if it works to like check if maybe we put X and Y and want to check if all of them are tuples, and I don't know. If all of them are strings or if all of them are integers. I think in that case, if we want to check, maybe we could say if X is, okay, sorry. If X is an integer, and then we could say and instance. Okay, sorry. And then we have y, and then we have string. Something like this. Or we could make it like a tuple again. Okay. So what do I have? Okay, sorry. It's not, it's supposed to be str. I don't know if I answered your question, but I think these are some other things you could do. So I don't know if it answers what you would like to see.
Sorry, please. That's another. I don't know actually what is actually doing there.
No, it's just a string. It's just a string that I put here. I could decide to remove it. It's
Okay,
just a
yeah,
string.
okay. You're not actually checking anything there.
No, I'm not checking anything with it. I'm not
Okay.
checking anything with it.
What about the tuple that appears
No,
in the
this is
console?
because on the last line I put a comma and then I put type of this. So usually on the last line of your Jupyter notebook, if you put like something comma something, it automatically makes it a tuple for you. That's why we have these two brackets here. So it's because I put this type here. But
Okay.
if I do something like this, let me do something like this. I could decide to print the type first, and then you see like each one is on a different line. So the type of X and Y is a tuple, and then the Boolean tuple we have as the last line here is what we have here, false and true.
Okay.
Yes, and if we remove it, then you just see false and true, which is as a result of the line with its instance.
Okay.
Is there any other question?
So the comma now. What differentiates the comma, the and, the or?
Oh no, I don't have an and or in the tuple anymore.
Like, what's the difference between now using the comma and the and the or?
Okay, if you use comma, it means you have completely different elements. Like by using this comma, it means we have a tuple. The first element of our tuple is false. The second element of our tuple is true. But when we use and, it means we are now converting them into one statement. And then logic now plays a role here. In logic, when you have two statements, if both of them are true and you use an and between them, then it remains true. But if you have one true and one false, true and false is false. True or false is true. So if we put like and here, then we are going to have just one element as a result of like these two statements. They will be merged as one statement. One is false and one is true, and then the result will be just false. You see, we have just one element now.
Okay.
So the same way with or, if we use or, the two elements will be merged as one. True or false is true, so we have true.
Okay, I
But when
understand
we
now.
put a
Okay,
comma,
okay,
we have
okay.
like different elements now. Each one
Okay,
is
I think
different.
the comma is directly checking for both of them. Why the and or is just logic to
Yes, the
just
comma is checking each one independently
one
and
of them
displaying the results.
independently.
While the and is checking the two and then merging what we have as the two into one.
I understand. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome. Is there any other question?
You can see Mustafa Ibrahim raising up his hand, but he's not saying anything.
What did you say?
So I can see Mustafa Ibrahim raising up his hand, but he's not saying anything.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a mistake. Yes, let me stop sharing.
Sorry, please, any other question? Any other question, please? Okay, so in the absence of no question, I've come to like the day 5 of 14 days data science workshop. So please, the file will be sent to the group later today, so everyone can just go through what you have done today. And please let us try to put hand on decks by practicalizing what we have just done, so we can refresh our brain for the next class. Thank you very much. See everyone tomorrow by 8 p.m.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank you
very
very much for today. I also wanted, I'm sorry for all the issues we had today, and yeah, see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kawan, anan ta mutum biyu.